Nonna, come ti insegnati a fare pizza?
No, dell'Italia, mia madre pure faceva, dell'Italia, e pigliavo la cipolla, la granciavo, ci mise a licce, belle pulite, ci mise anche hot pepper.
A little bit of hot peppers.
Hot pepper, e pure e faceva pizza.
Una in baucina.
A baucina e qua facciamo pure.
E ti piace la pizza dei best pizza, nonna?
Oh yeah, you like best pizza e best mais.
Yeah, the chef. My name is Frank Pinello, and my place is Best Pizza. Best Pizza is pretty much just a by-the-slice pizzeria, very much a New York style, place where you could walk in, grab a slice of pizza, grab something to drink, and be out the door in 5 minutes if that's what you want. Lucky enough to have a 100-year-old wood fire oven, so we cooked the big 20-inch pies in about 4 minutes. Pizza time. I'm just gonna go ahead and make you a white pizza. It's like one of our signature pies over here. When we first started making it, we were playing around with like some arugula and stuff like that on it, and then we decided that the white pie is about the ricotta cheese, so let's not do anything too crazy. Let's let the ricotta cheese kind of be the star of the show, and we do these caramelized onions that we let sit, on the rondo and caramelize for a long time. It's that sweetness that people always keep talking about coming in. Pizza came from Napoli, and when all those Southern Italian immigrants started coming over to New York, everybody started opening up these small pizzerias, and it kept a lot of those values of using really fresh ingredients and having really great techniques. And as time went on, their sons took it over, or they sold the pizzerias, and I think people started realizing, we could just use shitty pepperoni and shitty mozzarella cheese and make a whole lot more money, You started realizing, man, this pizza isn't as good as it used to be. So when we finally got in here, it was important for me to try to preserve some of those old techniques and those ideas of using the best stuff that you possibly can and hope that we'll make it up. I know a lot of people love pizza across the world, you know what I mean, across the country, but I'm not so sure that anyone has done it better than Brooklyn. Like Napoli, like anywhere. Pizza and Brooklyn go hand in hand. I thought it would only be right to bring you to Bensonhurst, of course. Bill. My partner in crime is Bill. Bill is the delivery guy here, but we spend a lot of time together out at the bar, so I figured I'd bring Bill along as well. I've worked in pizzerias my entire life. Delivery is a huge part of pizza places, and the second I met Bill, I knew it was a match made in heaven.
I've been a bike messenger since 1982.
I've seen Bill take 8 pies in a bag, and to me, that's mind-blowing. This guy rides a 6-gear bike with no brakes on it, and sometimes, it'll be like torrential downpour, and he'll be fucking soaked to the bone. But he gets the job done, man. Always get the job done. I think it was Brandon's from Roberta's was to get you a cape.
Oh, dude.
And I was like, fuck yes.
I told him I would totally rock the cape.
For me, home base for pizza, 18th Avenue in Bensonhurst is an old Sicilian neighborhood, and they got some great pizzerias. J&V Pizza is a great by-the-slice pizzeria that's on the corner of 64th Street and 18th Avenue. The square slice at J&V is what they're known for. As a kid, I used to always go there and scrape up some change, grab a square slice from J&V and Italian ice, and my afternoon was made. What's up, Pop? Can I get 4 squares, please? Thank you, Papa. Bill, sit down. Let's eat. A proper square Sicilian slice is a nice, thick, fluffy slice. A crusty bottom, a nice, fluffy middle, a saucy, cheesy top to it. So it's like 3 different components. And when you get that ratio right, that's a good Sicilian slice.
Crispity, crunchy on the bottom, nice and fluffy in the middle.
The cheese is really good. You could tell like this is one of those places that just kept the quality up throughout the years, you know what I mean? You could look around and see how many pizza boxes they have, and you know that these guys are doing really good business and they're a staple in the neighborhood. So. From J&V, we went to Da Vinci's. Thank you, man. Take care, buddy. And that was sort of like always the toss-up. Like when we had a couple bucks in our pocket, or you know, my grandmother maybe didn't feel like cooking and wanted to order some pizzas, it was always like, all right, where are we going, J&V or Da Vinci's? Here we are, the world famous Da Vinci's Pizzeria. Every classic pizzeria offers their version of a square and their version of a round, and J&V for me was the square slice and Da Vinci's was the round. And as you can see, these guys do a nice job.
It's a pretty
Beautiful
slice.
crust, nice and thick. Let's give it a shot.
It's always been the same. The recipe hasn't changed. I just try to perfect it, you know, or maybe I add a little this, a little that. I use different types of flour to give it that color, that consistency, that flavor, that crunchiness.
Classic. You guys know how to do it right.
Yeah, they do.
So we were feeling pretty full after Da Vinci's. Thank you so much, man. And it was only right to bring you guys to Villa Abate. It's just like Sicily rolled up into a ball and like thrown in like a storefront. They make great espresso, like really, really tasty, and the flavor of the coffee lingers in your mouth. When I worked for a chef that I really love, what I would do is come here and buy them a dozen cannolis and bring it to them as a treat. And the second they tasted it, they knew that it was like the primo stuff, so here you go. Sicilian style cannoli. This place does it the best. Thank you very much, grazie assai. Amazing. Come on, Bill.
I'm being on a TV show right now. It's called Munchies.
I lived in Brooklyn until I was about 10 years old, and then my family moved out to Long Island. On the weekends, we would always sort of drive back to Brooklyn to spend the weekend with my grandmother. And as soon as you would kind of like approach the steps, you could like smell the aroma of what my grandmother has been cooking for like the last 3 or 4 hours. Oh yeah. You know, my grandmother would buzz us in and the door would open, walk down the long hallway, and that aroma starts getting a little bit more strong, you know? Yes. Arrivamo. Shower us with hugs and kisses, and then walk right through the little doorway, and bam, the table would just be stocked with food. Oh, wow. You got some food?
Well, it's 8 o'clock and you can't keep a room full of Italians.
What's going on, man? How are you? I never imagined I would take that walk with Bill.
Hi, how are you?
Everybody sit down, eat.
Oh, sweet. Thank you very much.
We talk a lot about pizza today. This is the style of pizza that I grew up eating. Country style grandma's pizza. My grandmother stuffed this one with some tomatoes, some caramelized onions, possibly some anchovies in there. I haven't tasted it yet, so I'm not sure, but this is the way we do it. Full table full of food and eat until we're stuffed. My grandmother put out a lot of dishes. I know she knew that camera was coming, but I'll be honest with you, it's always like that.
I'll welcome. Thank you.
Classic Sicilian pasta.
Thank you.
Right here. Put a little bit of breadcrumbs as a topping. Breadcrumbs on top. A lot of people in Sicily couldn't afford cheese as a topping, so you see breadcrumb pretty often on top of pasta, which it's starch on starch, but like the texture combination goes really, really well.
Sogno con te che portassi a Idro.
Yeah, I know. It needs to eat, right? No, it needs to eat.
Awesome.
You like it, you like
Oh, yeah, I love it. I love it.
I love you pure.
Settere, nonna, settere.
He loved to eat, and he was like around the kitchen when my wife Diane was cooking. He would actually advise us as to what, spice to use every now and then. He would kind of, put his own 2 cents into it, as to say.
My family was never rich by any means, you know what I mean? We always grew up in apartments in Brooklyn, but the one thing that we did right was eat. Like the commitment to food that I think Sicilian people have in general, it's crazy, it's amazing, and I feel lucky that I was born into it, you know?
Woohoo! The Pinellos rock! All right, thanks again, you all. It's great to see you.
Bill,
All right,
stay well,
see you
buddy, brother.
All right.
All right.
All right, you
Keep those
too.
wheels oiled.
Yeah.
After we left Grandma's house, came back to Best Pizza. And we had some friends waiting for us here, and we did a meatball pizza, which is starting to become a popular pie here, especially towards the end of the night when people come in hammered from the bars. We get our meat from Pat LaFreda. It's 50% short rib, 50% brisket. So all that fat is flavor. So we want to make sure that we get all that nice, beautiful, clear fat mixed in with those meatballs and back on top of the pizza. Pizza is like the perfect accompaniment for drinking. You come into a pizzeria, you have a few beers, some pizza, you get yourself a nice base before you go out to the bar, and you usually get hungry at the end of the night, you know? And if you're done partying with your buds, coming back and having a nice fresh pie out of the oven is, to me, it's like, you can't go wrong. It's beautiful. Sta attento. Lola, what are you pounding? To my grandfather, Nonnu, we miss you. Get better. In the hospital. To Munchies, 1, 2, 3. Salud, viva Santa Fortunata.
Viva Santa Fortunata!
Viva!
Viva Santa Fortunata!
Cheers.
I was at the forefront of the most violent time in hip hop. I was young, I was fly, I was pretty, I was flamboyant, I was the greatest of all time. But I'm reckless at times. And that's what forced me to find a new path. And I chose to be peaceful. That's what makes me who I am, is my struggle and my testimony, the things that I went through. I could never become Snoop Lion if I was never Snoop Dogg. But Snoop Lion is the elevation of Snoop Dogg.